Figure drawing is often called the holy grail of art education, and for good reasons. It's not just about learning to sketch people, it's about mastering the underlying language of the visual world. If you can accurately draw the human form, the most complex and familiar object we know, you can draw pretty much anything else. When you practice figure drawing, you are training your brain to see spatial relationships. If an arm is half an inch too long or a head is slightly too small, the human eye, which is biologically programmed to recognize people, spots it instantly. Now, I have been trying to learn figure drawing for quite a while, and I think I have come quite far. When I compare my figure drawings to those from a few years ago, the difference is very clear, and this didn't simply happen by practice. I mean, practice was a very important part, but it wasn't the only part. There are certain things that you need to understand about figure drawing first, and then on top of that, you have to practice those things separately. And this doesn't just apply to figure drawings, but drawing in general. Now, the very first thing that you need to understand is that you need to stop drawing using contours. Contour basically means the outer line of any shape. This is a mistake that almost every beginner artist makes. I remember I used to do that too. When you see a body, your brain automatically wants to copy the silhouettes. You try to draw every line and every bump and end up failing. And the reason you do that is that it feels natural to you. Right now, you don't know anything about art. So you draw what you see, and your brain is programmed to see contours. Maybe I shouldn't call this a mistake because many professional artists like Kim Jong-gi or Karl Kopinski draw with contours. And if they can do it, why shouldn't you? Because you are not them. These artists have a complete understanding of the figure, which you don't. Their contour drawings are built on deep knowledge of the art fundamentals, which you don't have. So you need to fix this habit. And how do you do that? Well, first, I should tell you that figure drawing has a few sections to it, which are shapes, gesture drawing, structure, form, and anatomy. If you wish to master figure drawing, then you need to learn all of these. I'm only gonna be talking about two of them because I believe they are the most important. First is shapes. You need to develop your eyes to see simple shapes in most complex forms. This is your first step to getting better at drawing figures. This is also the step that is going to help you get away from contour. 2D shapes are the most fundamental part of drawing, and the whole purpose of drawing with simple shapes is to learn to avoid detail. You might think this is easy, but trust me, avoiding detail is very difficult. I would say I am pretty good at drawing, but I still struggle with this. When you are simplifying a form, you are basically using your imagination, and your mental library is kinda empty right now. So how exactly are you going to imagine? This requires a lot of observation and practice. Second is structure. Now, structure basically means the underlying framework of the figure, which would be the skeletal structure. But since it's very complex, we are going to be using simpler 3D shapes like spheres, cubes, and cylinders. This is the most effective way to expand your mental library and learn to draw from imagination. If you can stack some boxes on top of each other in correct perspective, then you can draw in a figure from any angle. You only need to understand the placement of three things: the head, the rib cage, and the pelvis. You can either use boxes for all three of these, which is easier and will help you understand the planes of the body, or you can use a sphere for the head, an egg shape for the rib cage, and a cylindrical shape for the pelvis. And if you can draw these three things correctly, your 90% of the work is done. Adding limbs shouldn't be that difficult. You can skip gesture drawing, you can skip anatomy, but shapes and structure are something that you definitely need to practice, because these two literally make up 90% of all drawing. And that's it. See you in the next one.